Hello, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing a television series review of the old TV sitcom Hogan's Heroes. For those of you who don't know, this movie ran for it was a comedy based on a World War II POW camp, German POW camp. They had American and other Allied prisoners in that camp. There were 6 seasons from 1966 to 1971. This was the world trying to heal after World War II. And, you know, other movies that were coming out were putting out the atrocities that the Nazis had committed. I think this tried to bring it under kind of a comedic umbrella to try to help people heal. It was a wonderful series. I loved it when I was a kid. But when you're a child, you don't understand what they're talking about. But then later on, when you grow up, you realize what they were talking about. And in a lot of cases, it doesn't sit well with you because you laughed at it. But in this, it makes it funnier because it paints the Nazis as idiots, you know, at least for the most part. The plot is that there were Allied POWs, and they're in a German Luftstalag. Stalag, I forget which was, Stalag 17, 16, whatever it was. Anyway, and they run an espionage and sabotage unit out of that prison camp. And they have tunnels dug, and they've got machine shops and everything down underneath, and underground factories that they're producing stuff. They make papers, you know, travel papers and stuff, because that's what you have to have in Nazi Germany. At least you had to. And they, you know, in most socialist countries, you have to have that. And so they they make these papers, and then they go out and they perform spy functions and espionage and sabotage. They blow up bridges and things like that. And it makes for an interesting, there's a lot of action, makes for an interesting program. A lot of really good stars in this. Bob Crane played Colonel Robert Hogan, who was the leader of the outfit. He was the senior POW member. Verner Klemperer played Colonel Klink, and he was in Judgment at Nuremberg, and he's been in a lot of other good programs. He's such a great actor. It's sad to me that this is what he's going to be remembered for, because he did a really good job here too, but he was in so many other things. He's a great comedic actor. He was also a great dramatic actor. John Banner played Sergeant Schultz. If you've ever heard somebody say, "I see nothing, I see nothing," this is where it came from. John Banner did that. Big, fat sergeant, World War I veteran, good soldier, but he'd gotten tired of war. He was afraid of getting killed, so he's in a POW camp, and he's happy. Richard Dawson played Newkirk. He was the pickpocket, the thief, the scrounger, you know, Englishman. Larry Hovis was an American, played the American Carter. Carter was their explosives expert, their technical guy, you know. Robert Clary played LeBeau. LeBeau was he did all of their uniforms, and he was a really great cook, and he was a little bitty guy, so they could put him in different things. You know, the guys bringing in luggage, and they pile it up, and everybody leaves the room, and then the trunk opens, and he comes out, and he goes and sneaks plans and takes pictures and jumps back in, you know, or whatever. He could fit in little places because he was a little bitty Frenchman. Ivan Dixon, he played Kincheloe. Kincheloe was a sergeant, and he had a number of really standout performances in this. Really great actor. Ivan Dixon, really great actor. There was a number of episodes. In one episode, they had a German boxer, and they were trying to promote how the superiority of the German people. And so they were going to put him against an American in the camp. And Kincheloe had boxing experience. And so, of course, the Germans cheated. They gave him brass knuckles or whatever. And they're in there fighting. And there's another plot in play where they're trying to, I don't remember what the other plot was, but basically Kincheloe had to stay in this fight for X amount of rounds to give them time to perform this other thing. He was the distraction. And once the thing was done, he says, okay, you can beat him now. And Kincheloe went there, just beat the crap out of him. It was brilliant. Liana Haskin played General Burkhalter. He was Colonel Klink's superior officer. And it was so funny. This guy is a great actor, big fat guy. Oh, I'm missing another one. Let me backtrack a bit here. I got ahead of myself. Ivan Dixon, the guy who played Kincheloe, he had a wonderful line. This is for people who think they don't matter. Anybody in the world. People who think they don't matter. There was a scene where Kincheloe was in the back seat of a car, a German staff car, with a girl. The girl was an assistant, an aide, a helper to a German general. And I want to say his name was Amrish Lauder, but don't quote me. And he was trying to convince this girl to switch sides and help him. And what the one line that stuck out with me, and it stuck out with me for a long time. I was a little kid when I watched this, and I didn't really understand it at the time, but it grew on me. He said, basically, I can't remember the exact quote, but it's something like, "You got to decide what kind of world you want to live in. If you're okay living in a Amrish Lauder kind of world, then I'll get out now." Something like that. I can't remember the line, but it was something like that. And people matter. Everybody matters. Okay? And if you can do your little part to fix the world, we all have to. Everybody does. And the good part about that boxing match was Jesse Owens was still fresh in everybody's mind, and Kincheloe, Ivan Dixon, is a black man playing Kincheloe, and he beat the crap out of that German boxer. That was brilliant. Okay, go on with the rest of this. Liana Haskin plays General Burkhalter, big fat guy, great actor, great comedic actor. He's a good dramatic actor too. I've seen him in a few other things. Really, really great for this role. Sigrid Valdez played Hilda, the general's sister, and Burkhalter keeps trying to get her married off to Colonel Klink. It creates a lot of comedic interaction. Howard Kane played Major Hochstetter. He was the local Nazi Gestapo guy. And for those of you who don't know, Gestapo is the German state police. They weren't over. They operated independently of the military, but they were, you know, when a Gestapo man said anything, everybody listened, because they were Hitler's personal, you know, stormtroopers, as it were. Kenneth Washington, later on, Ivan Dixon left, and they had another guy come in, and his name was Kenneth Washington. He played a character named Baker. Kincheloe and Baker were both the communications guys. They ran the radio, and they did the technical work and like that. Cynthia Lynn played Helga, Colonel Klink's secretary, and she and Colonel Hogan always had a thing. All in all, this is a really good series, really funny. It pokes fun at a very serious subject, but it does it in a way that it's acceptable, and it's funny. It's really funny. You can't watch one of these and not laugh at something. Okay, it's just funny. So again, if you get a chance to see it, a lot of these I believe are on YouTube. You can check them out. Hogan's Heroes from 1966 to 1971. Very good series. You folks have a good day. God bless one and all.